We're normally live. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our monthly meetup where we are introducing and welcoming all the new companies, all the new projects and members who are joining the Blockchain Game Alliance. Before each one of them is going to introduce themselves for 10 minutes, I will be giving you a brief presentation of the Blockchain Game Alliance for those of you who are not yet fully familiar with it. So the Blockchain Game Alliance, it's an organization, a non-profit organization, which is committed to promoting blockchain within the game industry. Our goal is to spread awareness about blockchain technology, non-fungible tokens, decentralized gaming, etc., and encourage adoption, showing how this new technology can really bring new ways to create game, publish game, play game, monetize game as well, and engage potentially with the community of players, offering different major benefits to all the different actors in the gaming ecosystem. We are also strong advocate for diversity and more inclusivity of women in the industry, and I've been running several meetup and panel involving 100% women in the industry. And we provide an open forum for individuals and companies to share their knowledge, to collaborate together, to network together, create common standards, establish best practices, support each other through communication channels, etc. The core activity from the Blockchain Game Alliance essentially involve networking, research, and reporting, representing blockchain game companies, and now even more type of project, as we'll see afterwards, and advocate for blockchain in the game industry. We have over 150 member companies. That's really exciting. Every month, the alliance is growing and growing. And I know it's quite a crowded picture. We've tried to categorize them more or less. As you can see, we have blockchain games, but we also have chains and protocols. We have traditional games and games company. We have press and media. We have esports company. We have developer solution, SaaS, blockchain as a service, etc. And we have a wide range of other solution and services and games among our members. We also have a fantastic sponsor, amazing sponsors. Some of them will be presenting today. So I wanted to give a big shout out and thank you to Animoca Brands, Ubisoft, Galaxy Interactive, Maker, Algorand, Chromia, Matic, AMD, and Mobox for supporting the Blockchain Game Alliance even further. Here are some examples of events that we've run in the past. We had one-to-one interview with industry leaders from the gaming industry, from investors, from different experts in certain topics like DeFi, decentralized finance. We also have run several workshops on various thematics on DAOs, decentralized autonomous organization, how they can bring interesting concept to the game industry, on legal aspect, on decentralized gaming, and we are always welcoming new ideas. So if you want to run an event with the BGA as a host, feel free to send us your suggestion. Our monthly event presentation, and also we offer to all our member free speaking opportunities to various events, as well as free tickets to various events around the world. Now, most of them happening online, digitally, due to, well, as we all know, we are all very well aware of the pandemic. We have been running women inclusive dedicated events, as I mentioned before. And without further ado, let's welcome our new July 2020 member, including Mobox, Chromia, Salad, Near, Dapper Lab, Galaxy Interactive, Parsons and Whittemore, DappRadar, Waterdeep. Let's get started with our first speaker. So our first speaker today is Han. He's speaking from Korea. It's really late on his side. So thank you, Han, for joining us.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
You can get started. If you'd like to stream any slide, I'll give you the screen.
Oh, okay. Let me try.
So we are going to start with an exciting game called League of Kingdoms, which is really a massive MMO strategy game. I'm really looking forward to have this presentation. Here.
Can you
All right.
can you see the screen?
Yep.
I'm not sure how this is displaying. Okay. All right, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Han from Not Games, and we're very excited to be part of the Blockchain Game Alliance. Today, I want to briefly introduce about our team and our latest title, League of Kingdoms. So, as a quick intro, we are Not Games, a blockchain game company to build a decentralized economic game platform. And many of you guys might not be familiar with our company, but probably more so about our game title. So we're team behind Crypto Sword and Magic and League of Kingdoms. And we want to build a blockchain game platform. And many of you guys might be also wondering that this guy's building individual game title, how can they be a platform? And that's a good question. And we're taking a unique approach here that we, instead of building platform first, we're focusing on delivering high quality game contents on top of the blockchain in order to attract the mass users, not just crypto users, but the mainstream gamers. And by leveraging this user base, we're aiming to develop and evolve into a blockchain game platform. And behind all this, we have a pretty solid team led by two of these amazing guys, Chan and Steve, our co-founders. So Chan is CEO and serial entrepreneur with bringing his experiences from fintech, gaming, and services industry. And Steve is our CTO, is a game development expert with more than 20 years of experience developing high-quality game titles. Another thing that we take pride on, our team, is that we have all the functions to develop and deliver high-quality blockchain games to the market. For example, we have game design team, graphic art team, blockchain engineering, client engineering, and marketing team all on site. And our team brings their experiences from mega game companies like Nexon or Electronic Arts, also multinational companies like Samsung or LG. That was a brief overview of our team, and I want to move on to introduce our most latest project, League of Kingdoms. So League of Kingdoms, we position ourselves to be the world's first MMO strategy game owned and powered by users. And before we go in depth, I want to first lay out some of the foundational building blocks of the League of Kingdoms ecosystem. The first is obviously blockchain. In this case is Ethereum. And on top of the Ethereum, we mint LAN tokens. These are NFT tokens that will eventually be owned by each and every user themselves. And on top of these LANs, we'll place kingdoms. And kingdoms are simply like a game account, which if you join League of Kingdoms, you will start from a basic kingdom. And these kingdoms will get together and team up to form alliances. And these alliances will vote through blockchain voting to elect the leadership board who will sit on the Congress. Congress is a unique game governance system, which will empower users to make decisions that are critical and relevant to all the game players. And I will walk you through on more details about these components. So the basic ecosystem that underpins our game is land. And as I mentioned, on top of the Ethereum blockchain, we mint LAN tokens. And LAN tokens are sort of a digital estate, which you can own. And also you can use in-game, basically. You can place your kingdom on top of it and develop yourself. Also, you can invite your friends and family to set up their kingdom on top of it to develop for you. And by developing the kingdom, developing the LAN token, you can expect two perks. The first is resource reward, and third is a development reward. So the resource reward, you can simply think about 5% of the in-game resources that are collected and harvested on top of your land will belong to you. And these resources can be tokenized into NFTs. And second is development reward. Development reward is sort of a loyalty reward, which incentivizes users to users as landowners to more actively oversee and develop their properties. And once they do, they can receive rewards from game profits in the form of DAI, stable cryptocurrency. And then basically, so these both of things can loop back to the Ethereum blockchain. So this whole system pretty much underpins our game. And on top of this land system, will take place all the gameplay. And in terms of the gameplay, we have three core gameplays. First is Kingdom, second is Alliances, third is Congress. So Kingdom is a single player part of our game. So you can start from a basic kingdom. You will harvest resources, research skills, and train army to make your kingdom great. And once you have a greater kingdom, you get a chance to join alliances and to socialize with other players and get support and help. Also make teamed effort to win over some type of a really tough task. And another benefit of being in the alliance is that you can get an opportunity to vote for the leadership board through blockchain voting. And the leadership board will sit on the Congress, and they will be the group of users who will actually decide on matters and decisions that are relevant and critical to the game and for all the gamers who are on the platform. So putting all this together, all 5 layers together, we are aiming to create a self-sovereign and sustainable ecosystem that is powered by users themselves. Down below is more like a bird's eye view of the whole ecosystem, but for the sake of time, I will skip this. This is simply same thing that I just laid out. So, so I will move on to talk about briefly about our marketing strategy. So we uniquely position ourselves to be a blockchain game built for the mass market. So which means that we put all the blockchains on the back end so that all gamers can more easily access our game. So we want to ensure 3 things. First is easy access, and second is easy device, and third, easy payments. So for the easy access, we let all the users even for those who doesn't have any prior knowledge about the blockchain can join our game through their familiar login credentials like Google, Facebook, Apple. And also for the easy device, we are offering cross-platform support on browser and mobile native apps on Google Play Store and Apple App Store. So all gamers can play anywhere they go. And lastly, easy payments. So we are implementing freemium model and mainstream payment gateway like Google, Apple, PayPal. So anybody can join our game free to play, and when they become serious, they can use these mainstream payments to purchase our packages. So down below is a diagram illustrating this. You can see that all the casual play does not require crypto wallet. And only when you become serious, you can educate yourself about blockchain and crypto and enjoy the advanced features like land ownership, blockchain voting, or NFT trading. So this is pretty much it about our game itself. And I want to briefly talk about our early tractions since we had the PC-only beta last month. So from early July for 3 weeks, we had a PC-only beta. And during that time period, we attracted more than 7,000 kingdoms and had more than 1,000 players average actively playing. And in terms of the revenue, we grossed more than 80,000 US dollar only from the in-game purchases. And interestingly, the top earning landowner grossed more than $900 within the 3 weeks, which is pretty impressive return given how much they could purchase the land from our pre-sale. And down below, you will see how the reward are growing nicely. And on the right side, you will see that the land price has almost quadrupled after the land pre-sale. And lastly, last part, I want to quickly go through some of the future plans. And 3 things that are in our pipeline. So first thing is NFTs. We have skin. We're going to introduce skin system, which is sort of a collectible NFT with limited quantity. And second is governance system. We still haven't locked down the details, but we will probably introduce some type of a governance token around the Congress system. And lastly, DeFi. We are contemplating about integrating DeFi solutions. We haven't locked down the detail for this one as well, but I think there's a lot of synergy based on the fact that there's a lot of value locked into our lender ecosystem already at this point. And this is pretty much it for me for today. And thank you for listening. If you have any other question, any question, please feel free to ask.
Thank you very much, Han. Let's see if there's any question on the channel. I think it's really impressive, those metrics. Do you have any tips to share with all the other BGA members, something that worked really well for you that you would recommend doing?
We're open to any opportunity, actually. So if you have any anybody who wants to partner with us, we're happy to talk about it.
Great, cool. Well, thank you. So next today is Sam. Sam, are you here? I can see he's connected. Yep. Yep. We seem to have one issue, technical issue with Sam. He just left. All right. So, well, in the meantime, maybe we can move. Let's give him one more minute. I see Fred. All right. Bon, but let's. Well, let's move to the next speaker. Then once Sam can connect, we'll let him. So, Alan, are you ready on your side, maybe to take the slot while I work on technical issues?
Yeah, no problem.
Cool, but thank you for your flexibility. The stage is yours now, Alan. Tell us more about what Dapper Labs is doing in the space.
Sure thing, happy to do so. So I think a lot of people are familiar with Dapper Labs. Not necessarily everybody knows the name Dapper Labs, but pretty much everybody knows the name CryptoKitties, and that is where we got started with our blockchain consumer product. And our goal is to be a blockchain studio that brings the benefits of blockchain to billions of people around the world. And we all say that, and we all believe it. And we've taken a multi-pronged approach to trying to achieve that goal. One of the things when we launched CryptoKitties was we felt very deeply, all of the limitations of current blockchain networks and the user experiences and how that affected the gameplay experience and engagement, retention, just the ability to onboard users. So I'll talk a little bit about that and what we're doing about it. And but first, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm a game and systems designer, and I actually come from the CryptoKitties community. When that game came out, I had actually never participated with Ethereum, but CryptoKitties made me fall in love with NFTs and with the whole idea of actually being able to use blockchain for something fun and interesting. And together with another member of the community, I launched a tool called KittyCalc, which was used to check what potential outcomes for a kitty breed existed. Anyway, so ended up joining the Dapper Labs team and worked quite a bit on CryptoKitties. And today I'm working NBA Top Shot, which I want to tell you all about. I mentioned that we're taking a multi-pronged approach to bringing blockchain to billions of people. This started with CryptoKitties. We also launched a wallet on Ethereum called Dapper and learned quite a bit about that. And in the meantime, basically ever since CryptoKitties launched, our CTO began dreaming of a blockchain without all of the limitations of Ethereum. And if he were to if he were to have the perfect blockchain, what would it look like? And we've been working on that for over a couple of years now, and that's the Flow blockchain. And we're really excited that that's up and running, and our first product is available there, which is Top Shot. I say available. We've got it running with about nearly 1,000 testers in early access, and that is on the live Flow blockchain. And we have early access if you're able to sign up. We've got that scrolling, the address for it, nbatopshot.com. Give us your email address. You want to do that this week because we're expanding that access quite a bit. So Flow is designed to be the blockchain for open worlds. We're definitely heavily focused on NFTs and gaming, but also just all of the different use cases that blockchain can create. So this will be good for all kinds of things. And our ultimate goal, as we see it, is this concept of open worlds. And with CryptoKitties, we saw a lot of really cool interoperability opportunities, and we want to be able to bring those to everybody across all kinds of experiences. And Flow is really designed to keep everything together on one shard, be very user-friendly, very mass market friendly, and quick, inexpensive, and just all of the decisions and trade-offs that are being made are with that user experience in mind, with the end goal of people being able to participate in open worlds, like you would see in something like a Ready Player One, where all of these different IPs and experiences can kind of all coexist and cooperate together. And we certainly see a lot of exploration in the open world space, and we're excited to be a part of that with Flow. And I mentioned that we launched our Dapper wallet originally on Ethereum, and this is a smart contract wallet, which is aiming to solve some of the onboarding issues. Instead of having to track a private key and keep a seed phrase secret, we let you log in with a username and password, and we're able to send transactions on your behalf with your signature. And basically, we're just trying to abstract a lot of the complication away from users. And we've learned quite a lot from this and are bringing it over to Flow. And right now, when you do get a NBA Top Shot account, it uses Dapper. We will, of course, have decentralized wallet options as well. And everybody, like I said, pretty much knows about CryptoKitties, where you can breed digital cats on the blockchain. I'm a huge fan. I've got over 1,500 of the cats myself, and continue to breed them every week. Although with gas prices, it's difficult now. It's expensive. I think my last breed cost $12. But the thing that I've been working on and that we've been really heavily focusing on as a company is our like I said, our big introduction both to the Flow blockchain, and we're expecting to the world of collectible NFTs, just digital assets that you actually own, for the first time to tons of people who don't necessarily know about any of that but are fans of the NBA. And we announced our partnership with the NBA over a year ago. We've been working hard on NBA Top Shot, and this allows you to collect and own actual highlights from NBA games for the first time ever. So these are these really cool interactive 3D digital cubes with video highlights attached. And all of this is laddering up into a gameplay experience that we'll have, we'll be testing later this year, and then aiming for release in Q4 potentially. So I don't think this is going to display very well, but we'll give it a try. This is what a Top Shot looks like. You've got the cube, you've got the actual video. There's a sweet LeBron James dunk, and you can see information about the game. And this cube is this really neat digital asset that you own. Very premium, very fun. And this is what the collectible website looks like today once you get into early access. And you can see that we do things like show you a community feed that allows you to see what other people are doing on the site. We release our moments in packs. So in some ways, it's kind of like the sports collectibles that sports fans are used to already, where they can purchase packs and have a chance to open a sweet Zion Williamson SWAT, for example. And then this being blockchain, of course, you own the thing, and we have a marketplace that we're launching this week in the beta, which will allow you to buy and sell to other sports fans. And all of this without even really knowing that you're on a blockchain at any point. We use fiat payments, so you can use your debit card or credit card to buy the packs, and then you can use your debit card or credit card to buy moments on the peer-to-peer marketplace as well. And you'll receive Dapper credits when you make a sale in the marketplace, which you can eventually just transfer out to your bank account. Or if you're curious about cryptocurrency or already into cryptocurrency, you can cash it out to USDC on Ethereum. This is one of our users in the beta, Pranked. A lot of you in the NFT space probably know him pretty well. He has over 3,000 moments already in NBA Top Shot. This is showing a bit of the variety of what's available. You can see every moment has a rarity and also a serial number associated with it. And we're seeing some really cool interactions there of the kinds of things that people are valuing in Top Shot. Different players, specific plays, neat serial numbers, and of course low serial numbers and jersey matches. And then we're building this up as a collectible gamified experience. And so there are a lot of different sets that you can collect and that we release over time. This is an example of our codex that shows some of the different sets. There's, of course, the base set, and then we have high-end sets like Holo 2020 and the Cosmic sets. These moments come in packs that cost hundreds of dollars, but give you some really amazing, very scarce NBA collectibles. And then there's mid-range sets as well, like the Metallic Gold Limited Edition and our Rookie Debut set. So that's just kind of like an overview of what we're doing. I did mention that we're laddering towards the game. We don't have a lot of details to share about that now, but that is going to be a mobile game, and all of your digital assets that you've been collecting in the Top Shot Collectibles experience will be available for you to use in that mobile game. And we're expecting that while it'll be a traditional mobile kind of free-to-play experience that doesn't require use of blockchain or blockchain assets, there's going to be really great value add to bringing those blockchain assets into your gameplay. And through PvP and talking with friends, watching YouTube videos, you're going to see a lot of the others using those blockchain assets, and will help explain why it's valuable to actually be able to own your game assets, and then demonstrate through the marketplace and those sorts of things, what it actually means to have ownership and scarcity. And when we say that there's only 50 of these, you can verify that for yourself, and you can be one of the only 50 people in the world who own it. And if somebody else wants it, they're going to have to pay you, and our terms of service aren't restricting you from selling it to them. So so we're really excited that we think that we're going to be able to bring blockchain to a ton of people this way. Anybody have any questions?
I can see some question on the channel, so maybe 2 minutes for one question. Maybe you can tell us, is Flow a second layer solution, or it's like a full blockchain?
Yeah, so Flow is a full blockchain in itself. We do have bridges in the works to Ethereum, and we are planning to work very closely with the existing blockchains that are out there. Like I said, you'll be able to cash out your balance from selling moments into USDC on Ethereum. Also, the Flow team has been working with some of the open source teams behind Facebook's Libra, and we both use resource-oriented languages that work really great for blockchain and especially for NFTs. And they've been building a very low-level programming language for that, and we've been building Cadence, which is a very programmer-friendly, really easy to learn and read. It's especially easy to just understand a smart contract. or even a transaction when you read it written in Cadence. And so we're working to make those kind of interoperable as well. So it's not a second layer, although it definitely has those interoperability properties.
Excellent. Great. Thank you again, Alan. It's been a pleasure to learn more about Flow, about NBA Top Shot, which is now in beta. So our next speaker is Fred Chenet, who we've been already previously interviewing here on this BGA event. Fred, are you here? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Cool. Would you like to share some slides as well, or?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Good afternoon or good morning, everyone. You see my screen?
Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's go, Fred.
Okay, so I'll try to make it as quickly as possible, but in case there are questions. But first of all, thank you very much for the invitation. Pleasure to be here. So I wanted to take this opportunity to basically explain what Atari is doing in the blockchain space as simply as possible, and let everyone know that there are some opportunities also to collaborate. So you know the brand. Look, I'm not gonna go through this. 1972, long time ago. We have very simple and very iconic games. Today, what are we doing? Of course, we do games. We do online casinos, licensing or direct exploitation. We also license our brands in TV series, movies. So we were in Pixels. We are big time in Blade Runner. We were in Ready Player One. We also have comic books, hardware. We're working on some drones. Yes, still some plug-and-play devices. Theme parks. We're working on that. They have announced some hotels, Atari hotels recently. It was done in January of this year. But of course, we're also doing T-shirts, merchandising. So it's basically a brand company, and we try to above. And among all these things, we do games, casino, and licensing, and blockchain. Okay, so games, casino, licensing, and blockchain. We also have the VCS, but for me, it's part of the licensing blockchain. So these are the games. You'll see there's a catalog at the end. The games have generated a lot of money throughout the years, more than $2 billion. You see here the biggest ones. I'm sure you're very familiar. Missile Command, Star Raiders, Asteroids. Everyone has their preferred game, right? So the community is quite big. I would say we don't skew very young, just because our audience grew older, as time went by. I would say today audience is definitely, average audience is definitely above 25. And we have a pretty solid audience, of course, with male, but also a pretty solid audience with the female audience. It is like this. Just because maybe the games are simple, they're easy to play, you can have fun with a very short experience. So all of this is on the website. You can find out more information about the brand. A few things about the brand value: iconic, authentic. For me, it's basically simple. It's entertainment, technology, and evolution. I don't want to say a revolution, would be a little bit too cocky, but it's definitely entertainment, technology, and evolution. Okay. So now, what do we do with games? And then I'll explain what we're doing in blockchain games. But for regular games, we have a focus today on mobile games and games for social platforms. This is definitely our sweet spot. We are no longer doing console games, maybe in 2 years, but right now it's not the priority. Today, it's everything about mobile, everything about online games, and especially a tendency to have free-to-play games. Okay, and of course we exploit as much as we can our catalog, the big game that's coming out, being submitted today. You'll find it in a soft launch in the UK. Hopefully tomorrow on Android, and by the end of the week on iOS, is Atari Combat. It's a game featuring tanks. basically tanks and puzzles. So that's being released this week. And now just I wanted to take some time to talk about the blockchain. Okay, so you understand that we have a lot of games. You will see after that I will run you through the catalog of games. But the most important thing to understand is about Atari is what we're doing and what the opportunity is for you, not for me. So the first thing we're doing is, of course, if you have not heard of that, just check out AtariChain.com. But we are launching the Atari token. It's, to use an old word, it's a utility token to be used inside the industry. So inside games, outside games, between individuals, between companies and individuals. More about that on AtariChain.com. It's not a technology play. We don't want, we're not pretending that we can solve a technology issue, but we're bringing something great from the technological side or programming side. It's really a brand play because everyone knows the brand, and we have already signed a lot of companies as partners who are going to use and authorize the use of the Atari token on their platform. The second thing, and we have a deal with Animoca, who is also here. Hi, Animoca. It's we're working on NFTs. More about that when we announce the games. We are part of the sandbox with Animoca. You have an Atari land there. So we are working on NFTs, and again, we're doing that through licensing agreements. So if someone has a good idea, we are always open to basically make a deal and work together on any initiative. Is it a license agreement or co-investment? Doesn't really matter. So we do that alone, but we're also open to partnerships. So this is our NFTs, and I mentioned here a few, two of our partners. So Animoca is for the NFTs, licensing for the NFTs, and Native Gaming is for the following line, which is Crypto Casino. We are working with Native Gaming. The URL is nativegaming.io to have more casino games on the blockchain. We already have casino games not on the blockchain. We have them through licensing arrangements in Europe. For those of you who do not know, we also operate casino games in Africa on mobile devices. We are fully integrated with a lot of operators and mobile money providers throughout the continent. Biggest countries are Kenya, Congo, Nigeria, Liberia. And we, of course, if we see a blockchain opportunity there, we'll just push for it. But for Crypto Casino, the biggest initiative is, on the one end, we are working on our own Crypto Casino, and on the other end, we have entered into a license agreement with Native Gaming. And of course, all these blockchain, we are working on some blockchain games for us as a direct operator of games. We've not announced the games yet. We've signed the development agreements, but we've not announced the games yet. So basically, my message today is to tell you that it's very open in the sense that I don't pretend to basically keep the Atari brand only for Atari. We are very open to, nothing is exclusive, right? Even, okay, of course, we're not going to license our properties for a game that is going to compete directly against our game or against another game that we would have licensed, but it's very open. We can do games on the blockchain alone. We're doing that. We can do games on the blockchain through licensing arrangements. We can do crypto casino. We can do applications using the Atari brand. It's I think we are very humble in the sense that we don't know what's going to happen. We believe that there's a huge opportunity. We don't know what's going to happen. So from a business perspective, my strategy is more to basically make as many bets as possible. And I really mean bets, because we all know that we can lose the money. 100% of it if we're not successful. So in that sense, it's not like when you buy a real building, you always have a high risk factor in the space. So this is why I am not shy to use the word betting when we make an investment. It is just a question of managing the risks and making sure that just like when you manage a portfolio of shares, you spread the bets, so you never go all in on one single project. But all of that to say that we are very open to receiving offers if anyone wants to basically do a game on the blockchain and use some Atari properties. Of course, you will need to get our approval, but we are very open to it. And just to give you an example, for native gaming, we are going to develop and exploit some of our games directly on the platform on native gaming. But at the same time, if any developer wants to basically use the brand to make another slot machine game, to make, I don't know, a Kino game using the Atari brand, we're really open to it. And this is already pre-packaged, shall we say, in the relationship, okay? So it's really a situation where you should view this as a portfolio, a vault of properties, and we are definitely exploiting the property. And if someone has a better idea than us, we are more than happy to do a co-development, co-publishing, co-licensing, whatever, however you want to name it. And that's really the message this morning. So I will finish the presentation, and this is the catalog that is on our website. You go to atari.com, there's a game section, and you can download this catalog. So you have more than 200 pages. So of course, I'm not gonna basically run you through the 200 pages, but you have, like, some of the games are here, and then for each game, you have a brief description, some screenshots, and at the bottom, you have a link to some gameplay videos. So this is really, I mean, it's alphabetical order. So adventure, look, I'm not gonna, this one, everyone has their own favorite game. So it's definitely a great vault. And again, I could go and basically spend 5 minutes. And I know some of you know some of these games better than I do, so I'm not going to do it. But we have all these games, so you can check them out on the website. And if you have a good idea, just feel free to reach out to me. Okay? Yeah, I could. It's on the website. Okay, Sebastien?
Hello. Yes, yeah. I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I had. So if there's any question, otherwise you know where to find me. But I want just to thank everyone for their time, and yeah, just feel free to reach out to us if there's anything.
Thank you. I see in a comment from Slane, like, how long do you think it will be until other big game dev like Ubisoft, EA, Activision copy actually Atari and your very pioneer model in blockchain and tokens? How long do you think it will be until other game companies will follow your steps in blockchain?
I don't know. It's ask them. I don't know.
That's a good word.
I'm not in a hurry for them to join the field, because we're all competing for something which is simple, which is the time of our of our users. And between the game companies, the big boys like Facebook, Apple, Google, YouTube, WhatsApp, TikTok, it's, I know we are almost multitasking, so it's a little bit more than 24/7. Maybe it's 47 or 48 hours 7. But I think, at the end of the day, time is always limited. And so the less people, the better.
But, all right. Okay. Thank you very much, Fred, for coming and presenting today. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Our next speaker today is John. John, are you with us?
Oh, yes. Shall I share? Let's see if this is going to work. Okay. Okay. Let's try this one. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can. So let's.
Okay. Right. Let's start.
And you want to put some links in comment? So here you go. Stage is yours, John.
Hey, yeah, I've got a funny thing with my green screen where my head might suddenly go a bit transparent by the looks of things. Weird. Okay, hello everyone. My name's John Jordan. I'm the editor of BlockchainGamer.biz. Slightly different approach, I think, in terms of what I'll be talking about compared to many of the people in this call who are talking about doing lots of things exciting in the blockchain game space. I'm at least with this hat on, more an observer of what you guys are doing rather than doing things myself. Although I do a few other things outside of this particular project. I may turn up in another of the presentations a bit later on, but we'll see. Okay, so BlockchainGamer.biz is obviously it is a website. I thought to give a little bit of background into the company that's behind BlockchainGamer.biz, so people kind of know where we're coming from. So the company behind it is called Steel Media, been around for over 15 years now, and was acquired by Enthusiast Gaming last year. So Enthusiast Gaming is based in Canada, owns a lot of different websites, has some interest in esports as well. It's a fairly large company, it's floated on the Toronto Stock Exchange. The Steel Media, I guess, best known for Pocket Gamer. So that was the first website we launched. I'm a co-founder, I should say, at Steel Media. So Pocket Gamer has been around for a long time as a consumer site covering mobile games and portable gaming. Also, a few years after Pocket Gamer launched, we launched PocketGamer.biz, which was something that I really focused on. So I was the editor of that site and editor at large for a while, and still involved kind of in the background there. And that was much more business to business. So that's kind of looking at what happens in kind of the business, what's the kind of monetization, what are the deals, what's the flow structure, what are the kind of techniques that people are doing, rather than obviously we're not reviewing games there really. I guess Pocket Gamer is kind of better known now for its events. So 7.5 years ago, we launched Pocket Gamer Connects, which were, I suppose, a series of face-to-face events that happened around the world. So London's one of the big ones in January, Helsinki in Finland in September, October. We've had ones in North America, Seattle, San Francisco, Vancouver. We've done ones in India. We did one in Hong Kong last year, one in Jordan as well. Obviously, things have changed a bit this year if you're running real-world events. So this year we've been running digital events. So Pocket Gamer Connects Digital. We've run two of those so far, just online events. Have been very successful. Obviously, a much broader kind of impact in terms of people coming along to those events. So this is kind of the headline stuff for Steel Media, and Blockchain Gamer kind of fits into that. We are a fairly small cog in the kind of wider sense. Obviously, Steel Media is mainly focused on mobile games. But given my background really with PocketGamer.biz, and when I got into blockchain about 2.5 years ago, I really felt that blockchain was going to have a big impact, and I guess all of us on this call do. This is why we're in the space. And I felt it was very kind of broadly similar to something that happened really with mobile games when free-to-play came in kind of 2011, 2012. And you needed a lot of different kind of parts to be there. You needed smartphones and app stores, and kind of microtransactions and new kind of game design philosophies. But really, the mobile game space has taken over games. So mobile games, well known now, is the biggest single sector in the game space. And kind of my view is blockchain will have a similar impact on games over the next 10 years. So really, BlockchainGamer.biz came about because of that kind of experience. Really, it's been around for 2 years. It's kind of really an interesting kind of sector to cover, I find. So there's not really any consumers in blockchain gaming. There's a lot of kind of business and prosumers, and it's all kind of mixed in together. So we kind of find it interesting to try and cover this space because it's fascinating that there's so much news going on, but the kind of news can be quite peripheral. So we're kind of thinking, and we go through different phases, but trying to think about how we cover all this stuff in the most logical sense. So at the moment, we kind of have these kind of big focused articles about kind of what the pre-sales. So we just had the Sandbox do its fourth land sale today, and we're looking at things like games in alpha and beta. So we're kind of making these kind of lists and thinking about particularly investment and M&A. So they seem to be the things driving really the fundamentals of the blockchain game space, at least from my point of view. So that's the kind of the websites thing. Other things we try and do. So we launched this for the first one this year. You have this list of the top 50 blockchain game companies. So again, that's something that was we did on PocketGamer.biz. That's been running for 10 years, very successful. Just to kind of this kind of annual drop of what companies are being successful, what are they doing that makes them successful, and people like to obviously see where they're listed, what their ranking is, and it's also useful for the general industry. So we're doing that as well for blockchain games companies, obviously early stages, but we will do another one of those this year. And kind of more specifically, what we're focused on at the moment is this kind of having the website and kind of covering the industry and then linking into events. So we have Blockchain Gamer Live is kind of the brand that we use for the blockchain side of the events that fit into the Pocket Gamer conference. So we did the first one was in London in January, and that was obviously a physical event because we could still do physical events then. Now we're doing digital events. Then Blockchain Gamer Live will have its first digital outing as part of the Pocket Gamer Helsinki event, which is the 14th to the 18th of September. So that is all set up and ready to go. Yeah, you can go and get tickets now. There's a discount code for Blockchain Game Alliance members. And the way we kind of set that out is we have break it down into tracks. And because we're part of a wider event that will be kind of covering just general games, we kind of break it down. So people who may be not interested or don't know a lot about blockchain can kind of dip into some of the kind of more kind of introductory tracks, and then obviously we have deeper tracks for people who are kind of deeper into the space. So we always start off with our blockchain basics track, which is a very kind of introductory kind of session. Each of these tracks are kind of half-day sort of tracks, 20-minute talks with questions, and then we have kind of a 40-minute panel. So it's mixing up that kind of information, so we're going to kind of people can understand what's going on and take the time to ask questions. So blockchain basics, it's introduction. We have blockchain game design. Obviously, that's going much deeper into how people are building blockchain games and how they're building kind of revenue flows, if it's NFTs or other payment methods, and how they're taking the best practices from free-to-play mobile in terms of retention and engagement. Blockchain trends, kind of the more kind of futuristic, where are we going? Is Ethereum the be all and end all, or are things like Flow and other new blockchains going to come and transform the industry? NFTs, obviously a lot of focus on NFTs at the moment, and how they fit into games and monetization. So we spend quite a bit of time on NFTs. Game developer stories, which is game developers talking about how they overcome the many problems that you get in the blockchain game space. And then Show Me the Money, which is obviously more about investment and that sort of thing, because that's pretty key to where we are in the industry. So pretty straightforward. Don't need to take up any of your time. If you want to contact me for anything, John at BlockchainGamer.biz, and hope to see you online at the conference in September. Done.
Yep, here. Thank you so much, John. Very fast introduction of all the activity of Blockchain Gamer. Very cool. Maybe I see some comments. Is there any question? What is Blockchain Gamer focus in terms of increasing consumer and user base? Maybe you want to take that 2 minutes quickly, then we move to next speaker.
Yeah, I don't know if they mean our user base or for games, really. It's kind of a bit of both. I mean, I think we are in very early stages, so we haven't really seen this kind of breakout kind of scenario happening. So I guess one of the key things we're doing is obviously kind of getting information out to people who might be interested in blockchain games. But I think another key thing we do as a more business-focused site, and certainly with the conferences, is kind of bringing together best practice from the industry, so people who are making blockchain games can learn from other people, and that kind of those kind of synergies. I think for me are more interesting than. I don't think we see our vision as finding the first 1 million people who are going to play blockchain games. That's a bit beyond what we're doing. We're a bit more focused on the industry at the moment.
Great. Thank you so much, John. Looking forward to keep seeing you in the industry and covering all games from the different Blockchain Game Alliance members and all our great news. So who is next? Next is Michael from Infura. So we're going to move to a little bit more technical technology topics, I think. Michael, are you here with us?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Let me make sure I know how to do this sharing. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Michael Wuehler from Infura. Very excited to have joined the BGA this last month, and happy to be here. Infura has been around as an infrastructure provider for Ethereum for 4 years, part of the Consensus family. How do I advance? Okay, so what is Infura? So we have a development suite that provides instant, scalable, reliable API access for interacting with Ethereum and IPFS. It's been proven to be extremely valuable and useful for developers who want to just focus on building their software and not worry about having to run infrastructure that they would need to interact with Ethereum. So we're a leading Web3 infrastructure provider. As I said, we've been around for 4 years. We were kind of the first. We were the first in providing Web3 API access, and there's others who've joined since. But our platform started at DevCon 2 in Shanghai was when we launched, serving billions of API requests a day at this point, and thousands of developers. So as I said, it's an instant connection to Ethereum. Response times, because of our experience and how we have kind of interacted over the years with the client development teams for Ethereum, able to kind of potentially see 20 times faster response times with using our service versus trying to run self-hosted Geth or Parity or another client node yourself to interact with. And of course, we've got a team who works around the clock to make sure that our infrastructure is kept up to date, remains available, and is online. We have pretty great uptime over the years. So this is what it looks like in a diagram. So the developers on the left are building things, whether it's interacting with the web, mobile, IoT device, server to server. You can make an HTTPS or WebSockets call to us at Infura, and we handle that connection and pull that data and send it back to you from either Ethereum and IPFS. We have subscriptions that are adjustable rate limits to fit your needs and help you grow. Some of this goes into a little bit of a sales presentation, and I won't necessarily make this really sales heavy. Really happy to interact directly with anyone who wants to talk more about our platform. These are just some of the features that we have. We also have a freemium model, so you can sign up for free, get an account, start interacting with Ethereum mainnet and testnets up to 100,000 requests a day and 3 projects for free. And then as your project grows and you start to acquire users and growth on your application, we're able to grow with you with those adjustable limits as you grow. So with your account, we also have a rich dashboard of analytics, so you can really get an idea of how your project is interacting with Ethereum, what are the method calls that it's making, where's the data transfers going, helps you optimize your app and improve your users' experience who are using your application if it depends on Ethereum. It's a really sales-heavy slide. Happy to, I think it might be shared. I can share it otherwise, but as mentioned, we've been around the longest time. We have, we're recognized as kind of the industry leader as far as the capabilities. I think the primary thing is just our scalability. As I said, we have proven to demonstrate the ability to scale to billions of requests a day across all users, and thousands of daily users, depending on our application, including, well, we've got the use cases, of course, game development, but including some of the most well-known names in the Ethereum space depend on us every day. I skipped this. We can be used all over the place. We're an API suite. We're really a Swiss Army knife that allows you to interact with Ethereum. So no matter what your application needs are, if it needs to talk to Ethereum, you can use Infura to make that connection happen and be reliable and scalable, and you won't have to worry about it. So here's our roadmap. So we are working on a blockchain data streaming service. So this will be quite unique. It'll allow you to set parameters around specific activities on the Ethereum blockchain that you might be interested in, like a particular contract address, and events that happen against that address will be streamed to you into kind of your own consumable destination on your side, like a Kafka or Kinesis stream. We're expanding our IPFS service. That's been in the works this year and will be coming later this year. And working on additional DeFi API endpoints. We've also recently launched our Ethereum 2 API, which is in beta. So if anyone is interested in getting access to that, you can reach out to us and we can get you added to that beta access for the Beacon chain, which is launching. Already covered this one. Just wanted to touch on just one of the case studies. That if you go to Infura.io, highlighting this one, this was a partnership with Horizon Games and their launch of Skyweaver. You can find that case study right up there, but demonstrated our ability to kind of really be the backbone and allowing Horizon Games to launch smoothly with that Skyweaver game. And so that's it, short and sweet. Please reach out to us, stay in touch. I'm Michael at Infura.io. You can read more about us on the blog, connect to us on Twitter, engage with us on our community site. Again, I said, happy to be here and appreciate the time.
Cool, thank you, Michael. It was great to see one of those case studies with, well, Skyweaver and Horizon Game. They are also one of the members of the Blockchain Game Alliance. Are you aware about any other blockchain game companies using Infura?
There's quite a bit. I don't have the list in front of me, but as I said, there's over 1,000 active kind of daily customers that are depending on Infura. Many of them are games. Happy to dig up a list and get permission to share that with this group in the future if I can.
I think it would be great. And well, ourselves with Sandbox, for example, we are also using Infura. So maybe we can find a way for all the BGA members using Infura to build more case studies with you. And that can be an example of collaboration among our members.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. We're always looking for case studies. So anyone in this group who is depending on Infura, using Infura, if you're interested in doing a case study that would be kind of co-promoted through consensus and through us, I'd love to talk to you.
Cool. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch very soon then.
Yep.
So our next speaker today is Bob Miles from Salad Technologies.
Yes,
hey, Bob.
That's me. Hey, Sebastien. Yes, I'm Bob from Salad, and salad.io is our website, and very excited to join the BGA and be presenting and introducing Salad today. One of the common themes I see is really about education with blockchain gaming and access, and those are two of the places that we're really focused on and we're working on. So really excited to introduce Salad to all of you today. High level, our goal really is to introduce a new relationship to the web where you contribute your idle compute power, and in return, you generate value that you can then spend and interact with online. So we are a smart miner that's wrapped in an incentive model. We're really focused on the gaming space. So we allow gamers to convert that idle PC time into things they actually want. And if we look back at kind of the genesis of Salad, where we came from, we're a couple of years old now, almost 3 years old. And back in late 2017, we were looking at the space, and a lot of gamers were not getting involved in crypto mining, which was really curious to us. The unit economics back then ranged from sort of $30 up to $70 per month, but a lot of gamers were not getting involved in mining. And so we started asking a lot of questions and came to learn that one of the big problems with crypto mining is there was a real disconnect with the value proposition. If you talk to any gamer, sort of mainstream gamer, and you say, run this application for a month and we'll give you 0.08673 ETH, it just doesn't quite resonate with them. So we introduced last year, we launched our smart miner. that really wraps those different coins and tokens in items that have mainstream appeal to gamers. So you run Salad, and in return you can get subscriptions, downloadable content. In future NFTs, we're really excited to collaborate with many of the companies and teams in BGA and really allow your users to turn their idle compute time into purchases on your platforms or in your games. So we do two things in our roadmap. We're looking to supply infrastructure to the blockchain industry. What's unique about our incentive wrapper or our pricing model is that our network is completely workload agnostic. So we can send out any different library for any different network that's suitable for our users and their hardware. But I think the second thing, which is more interesting for you guys today, for the BGA, we're working on a monetization engine for the gaming industry. So when I listen to a lot of the presentations today, I hear about different betas, different alpha releases on the PC platform, and when I look at that space, there's hundreds of millions of PCs that sit idle for 22, 23 hours per day. There's a lot of value, untapped value within the install base of everyone here, and we're working on creating a tool to provide the gaming industry a monetization engine to actually access that latent value. So very high level, I kind of just cut my own grass with this slide. We see 400 million high-end gaming PCs sitting idle for much of the day. There's huge exploding demand for compute. And Salad, we're sitting in the middle there, introducing an incentive model that really resonates with PC gamers and inspires them to actually contribute that idle compute time towards different Web3 networks, different crypto networks, and in return get different goods and services, digital items that really resonate with them. So a few company highlights. I mentioned we launched last year. It's now 140,000 registered users. There's almost 20,000 users in our Discord channel. A 4.6 rating with Trustpilot, which is really huge for us. That's something we've been so focused on. Our client is open source, so everyone can see what they're installing. It's for the mass market of gamers. This is a radically new concept where we say install this application and we'll pay you. You can imagine there's some skeptics out there. So really focused on the community, really focused on trust. Each month we have thousands of redemptions. Since launching, more than 500 years of compute time and 20 petaflops of processing power. For those of you that means something to. That puts us at about at a supercomputer in the early 2010s. So we're growing by the day. One thing I wanted to introduce was the user interface. So we are a wrapper. We are introducing gamification, and really here we've made it as simple as possible, where you hit the start button and we actually detect what your host hardware is. We choose what the most profitable workload is for your host hardware, and then we convert that into a balance that you can see up top right here. So I've got $6 that I've earned over the last few days and weeks, and that can then be spent in our storefront. So at the moment we are managing our own inventory. We're curating what rewards are available to our users, but this is a conversation I really want to start with everyone in BGA. We've got thousands of users generating anywhere from $5 to $50 per month. They're interested in crypto. They're supporting crypto networks, and something in our roadmap, something we're really excited to do is start introducing some NFTs and different blockchain-based items into our storefront because we have a user base who's naturally very interested in crypto. They're supporting different networks. And another thing to note about our users is 88% of them, the vast majority, are 13 to 23. So they don't have access to credit cards, they don't have access to financial services, but they do have access to, this $10 to $30 per month that they can spend on different games and services online through Salad. So would love to hear from any of you if you do have different items that you would like us to list in our storefront. The more we put in here, the better, the more value we can share with our users. So why we joined the BGA, I really just spoke through a lot of that. We do have all of these gamers online. We want to stock your items in our storefront. Comparatively, we're still quite a small fish, but we do have a very focused audience. A lot of gamers who are very excited about blockchain gaming and digital ownership and all of the work that everyone here is doing. So we'd love to hear from you there. But also, I thought I'd take today's opportunity to introduce Salad Pay, which is a payment gateway we're working on. Salad Pay is a way for our users to actually spend their balance outside of our storefront. So if you go to salad.io/pay, we're accepting early partnerships to support Salad Pay. And essentially, it's a payment gateway that you can host on your website, eventually in your game as we develop the SDK. And this provides a seamless, frictionless connection between the value that's locked up in the idle time of your install base in the form of their idle compute cycles and purchases on your website. So really, we're looking to create a bridge here that allows all of your web visitors, all of your users to churn out that idle compute time and turn it into purchases on your website. So would love to connect with some of you, would love to have some of you sign up and get early access at salad.io/pay, and really looking forward to working with all of you at the BGA over the coming weeks and months and years. And that's it for me. That was perhaps a short presentation, but would love to hear any questions if there are any.
Let's see. How do I earn croutons?
Good question. So you will notice we do have. I'm not sure croutons are in there, but we do have different levels in the pantry that you unlock. Our XP system right now is really not tied to anything too real, but as we move forward, the pantry and the earning of croutons will start to represent kind of a trust rating for our different suppliers of compute power. So crouton level will surely represent an expert level.
All right, so I think we have here someone really engaged with the service and the platform, a hardcore fan already, a hardcore user. That's great, and congratulations on those metrics. So we hope they keep growing, and you'll find a lot of collaboration and partnership with other members from the BGA. Who is next? I think Zhuo from FirstBlood. Zhuo, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Great.
Let me share my screen.
Yes. Let me remove the comment. Thank you, Bob. Ta-da.
Oh. Can you see my screen?
It just came up here. Perfect. It should show. Well, you can get started. Looking forward to hear more about FirstBlood.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Joe. I'm the founder and CEO of FirstBlood. We're really glad to have this opportunity to be part of BGA. I think we joined last month, but we're doing the presentation this month. I hope this introductory presentation will help you all understand a little bit on who we are, our kind of backstory on how we started since the beginning, what we've built so far, and what do we have in the future. Brief about our story. So FirstBlood, for those of you being in Ethereum for a while, so we started as one of the OG projects on the Ethereum blockchain with the goal to be the DApp for people to wager on gaming competitions. We want to make the steps that gamers can take in terms of wagering on the gaming experience is much simpler and bring the transparency of the data as well as transactions to the gamers. So with that goal, we went around, raised about 5.5 million back in September 2016. Back in the days, ICO wasn't a thing. We're doing a crowd sale. So fast forward to today, we have successfully launched multiple products, used by over 350,000 gamers across the globe. We currently support 5 major titles. We're adding one more this week. We're speaking with a goal adding 6 more by second quarter next year. And we're 38 members, globally distributed team with footprints in Europe, Asia, and the United States. A little bit about FirstBlood. Since 2016, we have just kind of been building quietly a gaming ecosystem with the goal, like I was mentioning, allowing gamers to, easily participate in competitive gaming and win rewards. Sort of just give them an overall level up of their existing gaming experiences of all the game titles they love playing already. And here's a glimpse of what's actually in the ecosystem we're building. If you analyze kind of the gaming market as a whole, in terms of user bases, you will see on the very top level a niche. You have these very hardcore users. They could be early adopters. It could be super competitive mindset personas of the gamers. And also, if you look at the bottom side, you have a large chunk of multiple segments of users that fits into the persona and the profile of the casual gamers. They play the games, they consume the contents based on recommendation of influencers. They also just play casually with their buddies. They don't have that competitive mindset. So for us, over the course of years, we kind of just evolved our vision. I want to be able to kind of create a product to target and address both sides of the market. And here you can see on the FirstBlood main platform, we have built this ultra competitive kind of tournament competition platform supporting multiple AAA titles currently used by over 300,000 users. And on the right side, we've created this new product called Mana. It's essentially a gamer loyalty program and wallet, allow gamers to unify and connect all their existing gaming footprints. Whether you play Clash Royale, League of Legends, or play games on console, you connect it all. And then we turn the gamers' gaming activity passively and gamify them into a cryptocurrency, which they can later use to redeem, to compete, to socialize with each other. So this app went live about a week ago in the Play Store. I recommend all of you guys to check it out. And in the following slide, we'll dig a little bit deeper into what our products are currently offering. And on the very middle part, you see the Dawn token. It's a recent rebranding efforts and upgrade from our existing ERC20. First token, we've completed that network upgrade. Now Dawn is solely built on ERC 721 protocol. And this Dawn token is a utility token we're using to tie all the applications within the ecosystem together. So on our main platform, we spent the last several years just building and perfecting the user experiences and building competition modes around these popular esports titles. Now, namely tournaments, battles, and ladders. These are bread and butter. For tournaments, you already know it's just like a traditional competitive kind of bracketed system, enable gamers to interact with each other, compete on a very high level. Some of our gamers will be sitting throughout the whole Sunday morning all the way to afternoon competing in tournaments. They're also a great tool to partner up with influencers, game publishers, and brands to earn cash prizes and qualify for sponsored events. And the entire experience plays a part of our kind of product philosophy is we've built every single game to make the user experience like fully automated fashion, unlike some of the competitors out there that only does the bracket hosting, where you still have a manual tournament organizer sitting and keeping the score on an Excel sheet. So using our software, you'll be able to launch, host tournaments with the payout of your choice, whether it's crypto or in-game currencies or the currency or gift cards, and everything will be fully automated. The game results will be resolved by itself. And then within the 3 core product offerings, we have this battles mode that we've built. It's kind of like a more casual competitive game mode where gamers can just compete passively after signing up. And these battles are all time theories based competitions. And it has different sets of parameters that you can tweak and gamify to make gamers more engaged. Essentially, for instance, one of the games we support public player on those battlegrounds, all the game's data that we're receiving, we can tweak and contribute and also manipulate the data to craft different kind of competitions, whether it's solely skill-based like kill and placement, or some RNG-based data like the damage you've been doing, or if you have driven the vehicle, kill people, etc. And lastly, we have this traditional mode called ladders. It's just more versatile mode for us to run events in front of our users or work out with partners. We have weekly, daily, depends on kind of the duration you're selecting. And the gamers can win a different range of prizes through this game mode as well. So one of the interesting things from operating the platform, that's the next slide. So I'm going to skip this and come back. That we've found so far is the game modes that we've built from the sample size, and each and every game we're launching and acquiring users, what we've realized is we're producing a very interesting experiences and value propositions, not only for gamers, but also for game publishers' perspective. We're producing a very high retention rate for a specific game, just because people who like to compete, they're looking for the extra layer of kind of thrill and also additional benefits that existing game client is not providing. It depends on the life cycle of a specific game. In the publishing cycle, some games don't offer that experience. And for us to be able to support that, we're producing tremendous amount of improvements of these gamers' stickiness on a specific game. And sticky gamers typically produce higher LTV. So if you're a game developer, whether you're blockchain or non-blockchain, we're happy to talk to you guys, think about implementing a strategy to help you drive users to your game if you don't have a lot of gamers playing already, or to improve the existing gamer stickiness through competitions like this. Now, finally, a snapshot of our main platform. So we've been operating, went live back in 2017 summer. Now we have about 75,000 MAUs. We've handled over 1.2 million matches already between the 4 game titles we have on the main platform. And we have over 300,000 users currently playing. Next up, I want to explain a little bit about the second product that we have in the ecosystem, Mana. Like I was explaining, Mana is a completely different beast. We're using it to target and address much larger size of the audience than casual gamers. So this gamer wallet, loyalty wallet, gamers can essentially sign in and connect their game accounts. As long as your game produces some level of data, allow us to track, we'll be able to produce that level of retention and engagement in addition to the existing game, and allow these gamers who will play multiple games to kind of aggregate their stats together and into this currency that we're producing, and later on can be used to purchase game items or gift cards or in-game currency that could also be NFT, essentially allowing gamers to kind of transfer and translate the efforts and every bit of the gaming journey, doesn't matter what game they're playing, and they can use that effort they've done to utilize it in other game they also play and love playing. And finally, we have this Dawn token. So this, I want to touch on this part because this is the most important part of the today's meeting. Is we started off as a ERC20 DApp, and we wanted to kind of expand our vision, beyond just the competitive gaming. That's why we've launched multiple products. But as we grew, we've realized that that's why we did a rebranding and transitioning into a new protocol called Dawn, that we hope we can use it to kind of tie up all the applications that we have currently existing in the ecosystem, allowing users to leverage that in several ways. There are 5 ways currently users can use Dawn, kind of interact with us. The very basic layer is the transactional layer. We only handle the kind of departure as well as the arrival of the token. Everything else is still handled in a centralized fashion for better performances. Another feature you currently can use already is Dawn. You can stake it on the platform, serve as a membership token. It adds additional benefits to the platform, unlock stats, help you double your rewards, help you progress faster. In the future, we're looking to launch these 3 features very soon. One in the works is the governance feature, where user can using Dawn voting by staking them on the feature sets that we're building. Kind of just have everybody a better way to collect user feedback on existing roadmap and what kind of features we want to be building. A second thing we're looking to launch very soon is we've been doing a lot of R&D, how to integrate game in open source fashion. This will allow us to hyperscale into different kind of game titles, and we'll have a protocol for developers to actually bring their games into the platform, leverage our existing user base. And lastly is the fee sharing module, where existing stakers of the token can get additional referral bonuses as a multiplier. In terms of future plans, for the next 3 quarters, 2 quarters, our main focus is to grow the existing product offering by adding a lot more game titles. Some game titles we're looking at currently, and in the process integrating our League of Legends TFT. On the mobile end, we have Free Fire and the Reign of Valor. On the casual end and non-traditional like esports titles, we have Rocket League. We're also looking at chess. And this is the big thing that we later on going to announce, because we think the stablecoin in the chess market is actually a perfect marriage. And this also could be your game as well, if you're interested in taking a look at our product offerings and see how we can help each other. The second thing is we want to add support for other project tokens. We want to add additional use cases for your community, boost your community engagement through gaming, because I think a lot of crypto communities, they all game, whether it's on the mobile or on the PC end or console. And lastly, you can utilize stable coins in the entry and payout. There's a fee sharing component to that as well. Lastly, we're also an active pre-seed and seed participant in terms of investment. So if your project is looking to raise money, we're happy to chat, and we can provide a lot of synergy on multiple fronts, from both publisher introduction to user acquisitions by redirecting our users to play your game. And any kind of deal flow is also welcomed from the BGA member. So that wrapped up my presentation today. You can reach me at joe@fb.io or through partnership@fb.io. So any questions?
Great. Well, very impressive. All those different products that you've been launching. Probably, as you mentioned, is because you are one of the very first in the space, actually. Which year did you start?
We started in late 2016. So we did a raise, wrapped around the raise in September 2016, and just been building the product ever since.
Very cool. Let's see if there's any question on the channel. Yep, no, I don't see yet. So, well, I got a question. Like, you've been promoting Call of Duty. Is it like the largest multiplayer game you have on the platform, or which would be that largest game?
Currently, yes. Warzone is definitely the largest game. They've delivered a tremendous amount of growth metrics because they went free to play. I think it's a great strategy from Activision Blizzard, and we're looking to launch some very big marketing campaign once the second part of the Warzone features are introduced, like integrating to battles and stuff. But I want to kind of leave a teaser here. The biggest game we're actually going to support is chess. A lot of people underestimate this market as an esports or competitive sports, but it's like currently morphing into this new persona that people are treating it as a spectator sports because of the pandemic. And some of the, like a popular chess website, chess.com, they handled about 9 million matches a day. That's just a glimpse of how big the market is.
Very exciting. Well, one of our sponsors, Algorand, is also using blockchain and sponsoring one of the chess leagues, actually,
Nice.
to run all the results. So maybe we can connect them if you're interested.
Yeah, I would love to.
Cool. But thank you, Joe. So we have our last speaker for today's event. This is Patrick from DappRadar. Patrick, are you with us?
I am.
All right, great. Would you like to share some slides to present? Yeah. Hey, now I can see your camera. Excellent.
Wonderful. Let me see. So, let me check.
So in the meantime, while Patrick finds his slides, we have recently published the very first H1 State of Blockchain Gaming report, thanks to DappRadar on the BGA social media channel. It has had a lot of great reception. It provided a lot of very valuable metrics about, well, the current state of the industry in 2020. And we're looking forward to keep publishing monthly updates to this report. So probably the next one, since we are already August, will come very soon. I can see your screen here. Great. Cool. Well, feel free to start, Patrick.
Perfect. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sebastien, for the intro. So I guess most of you might know us. So DappRadar, we have been around for 2.5 years. We started tracking decentralized applications in early 2018. So when we were certainly inspired by CryptoKitties and the likes, when the first dApps appeared, first decentralized applications, we put together we kind of manufactured, handpicked a couple of dApps and started tracking their smart contracts, and that actually attracted a lot of interest. Lots of users came and visited DappRadar.com, started following us, and we just continued adding more dApps. That was noticed, that was registered by lots of developers who then started providing us with their smart contracts. More users came. So it was kind of a self-reinforcing cycle that the more dApps we started tracking, the more users came and started following us and following the dApps, the more developers came, provided us with better data, more data. We published that, and then it just started growing. And I think nowadays we are one of the main places in the industry where people gather their intel, their data for following which are the dApps, which are the games that are trending, which are gaining, which are losing traffic, and so on. And that's our standard homepage, and you can see that in here we feature the 3 largest categories: gaming. Then there's obviously DeFi these days, decentralized finance. Lots of traffic still goes to the gambling category. So these are kind of the 3 biggest categories that we follow these days. And if you click through to the games category, you see that we go cross-chain. So we follow about, I believe, nearly 15 different protocols, different blockchains. We started with Ethereum, then we added Tron, EOS, and so forth. And these days you see quite a lot. We mostly rank by active users. So wallets, obviously, active wallets. In this case, you can see Splinterlands up on top. And then the second metric that is usually very much asked for is volume, transaction volume. And we follow this and we update this on a regular basis. Something that might be interesting for for most of you, or something that most developers have already used, is something which we have improved over the last couple of months, is the developer corner on DappRadar. We have, so historically, the developers corner or submit button has been the place where, when you were launching a new decentralized application, a new game, then you came to DappRadar and you went to the developers part or the submit part, and you submitted, you published your smart contracts there, or the entire data that you wanted to be published. We actually have done a bit of work here, and nowadays this is becoming an entire developers portal. So this, what you see here, is the traditional submit your Dapp data page, which some of you might be familiar with. You come and everything that is related to your Dapp gets submitted here, and you come back and you update, you add updated smart contracts and so forth. But what we have done recently is, so we're trying to build a little community here, because in this vast decentralized space, we're one of the few still fairly centralized entities. So this is kind of we have about, I believe, 3,500 developers who are coming to us, or have come to us over the last months and years, and have submitted their dApps. It's kind of a meeting point or community for all Dapp developers in the space, and we're trying to build features around that, so that this is our new landing page, and you see that partners of ours like Blockstack or the Bora protocol and so forth are using that for gathering attention around their products. These are obviously protocols, blockchains, so this is kind of the starting point, that we are trying to build a community, a place where developers can congregate. We've started offering a marketplace where the listing is free, so you don't have to pay for that. You can just come and so on. And we offer multiple other promotional activities here. So I just wanted to mention this, that the entire developers portal is a new product around DappRadar, and if you want to get in touch with Dapp developers, this might be a good place to start. Going back to our homepage, I just want to show you what we've been working on. So if you hit a single product page, a games product page, that's what you usually see. So you see the amount of users, or let's say active wallets, active here. So in the case of Axie Infinity, and I think I took this one yesterday, we saw 830 active users or active wallets over the last 7 days. There were 2.8 thousand transactions, and there was value transacted around 10K in USD. That's what we have always shown over the last couple of years, and now we are starting to go much deeper, and that's also the reason that we've reached out to the BGA, because we think that what blockchain games have to offer is much more, and we want to bring transparency in here. So I want to show you an example from the DeFi space, so from decentralized finance, where one of the main DeFi dApps or decentralized applications is Compound, money marketplace. What we've started doing here is tracking which tokens are being processed, which tokens are being borrowed and loaned through Compound. So you can see that we are starting to drill down much deeper into what's actually happening in these smart contracts, what's happening in these dApps, and we're trying to visualize, bring transparency to the industry. In this case, what kind of tokens are being processed? You see supply on top. You see the loans on the bottom. In this slide, you see the amount of suppliers versus borrowers on the top one in terms of numbers. So how many people, how many users were supplying tokens, how many were borrowing tokens. You see the value in the lower graph. And on the right, you see the actual numbers. So 8,000 suppliers we had in the last 30 days and 3,000 users who were borrowing. And then it gets quite interesting when we look at the whales. This is whale activity. The top 30 whales on Compound are actually supplying 55 or 56% of the entire supply, or the entire volume on Compound in the last 30 days. So you see a very heavy whale concentration here, and even further, even more in terms of what has been borrowed. That nearly 70% of the entire borrowed volume is being taken up by the top 30 whales. The reason that I'm showing you this from the DeFi space is because this is going to trickle through to the game space as well. And so this is kind of, we're seeing, well, we're trying to bring this transparency into DeFi dApps, and you can be sure that once games start to get more complicated and more deeper, we'll do similar analysis, we'll do similar dashboards for games. And actually, we have already started doing so. Let me share. We have a dashboard for CryptoKitties and CryptoPunks. This is the CryptoPunks one, and I'd like to call John. If you is it possible for John to comment on this, because he has been slightly involved, well, heavily involved into generating this. John, do you want to comment on this?
Yeah, if I is it working? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, positive.
You can. Okay. Yes. So yes. So I do a few different things. So I wear a few different hats. One of which is working with DappRadar. So as Patrick says, we've got this kind of general move to what we call open data, and that allows will eventually allow kind of anyone to come in and drill down into the kind of on-chain data and see what's going on with any dApp. And we've started to kind of play around in the case of games. We've looked at CryptoPunks and CryptoKitties. Now, I am not a technical. I'm not a coder. Let's put it that way. So, so obviously, if you can write SQL code, you can do you can drill in a slightly different level to which I have drilled. And this is I did have some help, to be honest, on this one, but this is a lot of this is just going through and creating graphs from the data. And particularly for something like CryptoPunks, which is a fascinating project. There's only 10,000 of these punks. They've been around for about 3 years now. And you can start to do some interesting tracking. So what we're seeing here is how many trades there's been and how much value there's been in the overall project from all time. We can see historically when we've had kind of bubbles of trading around that, we can see the individual price of the some various CryptoPunks. And we can also see the flow of when they were first kind of given out, and then how they've been sold on and how they've been traded on as well. So it is fascinating when you start to get your hands on this kind of. I'm sure for some of you, it's kind of this is kind of what you do every day. But for someone like me, it's very fascinating when you start to look at some of this kind of deep, kind of raw data, and then you start thinking around what you can pull out from that. And so yeah, this is the kind of stuff we're looking to do. I think with data, I'm someone who's fascinated with data, which is one of the reasons I'm interested in blockchain games. And I think it's interesting that on one level you have the kind of default, we could say, DappRadar pages, which give you use a little bit of information but provide you like a lot of trends, and you can see across all the games what's going on And then we can have this situation where we drill right down into individual products and really get to grips with what's going on with those. And then there's probably other levels at which we're taking aggregated data over time. And that's something we're looking to do. As Sebastien mentions, I do the monthly blockchain game kind of data report for the BGA as well. So yeah, it's really fascinating to get all this data and see how the industry is progressing.
Exactly. Yeah. So thank you, John. So we just had the CryptoPunks dashboard. We also did a dashboard for CryptoKitties, where we analyzed when most of the activity was happening. You see how many births there were over the last 30 days, what the trading value was over the last 30 days, how many successful auctions, and so on. And the aim here for the coming weeks and months is to, so as John said, this is all based on a new product that we have, which is called Open Data, that we want to open access. We want to open up access to open data to all BGA members at some point at the beginning over the next couple of weeks. Probably just will be a few selected ones, a few kind of alpha testers and so on. But the intention is to allow everybody to access this product, play around with it. This data will then be shown on DappRadar, but you can also use it for your own intelligence, your own pages, and so on. So yeah, this is something that is coming, and yeah, let's go back. That was CryptoPunks, CryptoKitties with Open Data, and the last piece I want to share with you today is what we've also done. You've probably seen, some of you might have followed that NFTs are being split up, are being kind of split into charts, and this is a very recent phenomenon that started, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. Mainly for very expensive NFTs. So charts then allow also people with a smaller budget to get involved in these expensive NFTs. And what we have started doing is we've started tracking this activity on chartmarketcap.io as part of DappRadar. And you can see that it's mainly it's mainly X Infinity right now, which is trending very high. They have charted a couple of their NFTs, and the interesting bit here is also that this is completely independent of this is happening completely independent of any game or any. There's nobody out there, no developer or so driving this. Basically, because NFTs can be bought, purchased, sold, and so on. They're out there on chain, and whoever owns them can decide what to do with them. And the owners of these NFTs have decided to split them, to chart them into small little pieces. And these small little pieces, these small little shards, are being traded these days. And we're trying to follow and to track the value of this new category, and that's what's happening here on chartmarketcap.io. Yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions, if you want to reach out, you can find me at patrick@dappradar.com. Yeah, thanks, Sebastien. Thanks for having us, and I believe we're going to do those industry reports together with you, with the BGA, on a regular basis from now on.
Yep, thank you, Patrick. Can you hear me? Yeah, thank you, Patrick. It's a great presentation. It's really amazing how DappRadar is providing a lot of very valuable information about some of the key projects in the space. I believe, as you mentioned, John does a fantastic work as well in building those reports and writing about them. We're looking forward to the new feature, the new open data availability, so more members can enjoy that feature as well. let us know when it's live. And I don't see yet any question on the channel. So, we can move maybe to a short discussion. I see we are just the 5 of us remaining on to finish the event today. This event is a little bit more than, it's close to 2 hours now. So I wanted first to thank you everyone for your patience. Watching all the very cool presentation of the new members today. Unless someone in the public on YouTube, Twitter, or other channels wants to ask any question, maybe I'll get started myself with one here. What is your expectation for 2020? We're already August, so this is half of the year already. We have quite a crazy beginning of the year with coronavirus and other topics. What makes you enthusiastic, or what makes you pessimistic maybe about the rest of 2020? Can you tell us a little bit more?
Happy to start to kick this off. So, I mean, we are looking at the entire blockchain industry. We're looking at all the different verticals there, and so we had a strong drive coming from the game sector because of CryptoKitties and CryptoPunks and all the others that were really flying high in 2018. In the meantime, this has the bulk of the activity, or at least the bulk of the value, has switched to the decentralized finance space. And what we've seen there in terms of yield farming, so users coming in, quite a few heavy whales coming in and trying to farm. To generate value by lending, borrowing, interacting with the value with the various decentralized applications there in DeFi. We're absolutely excited by this trend, and we think that this is just a question of time when this will trickle through to the game space. So we are absolutely convinced that these kind of farming activities, these kind of, you could call them monetization activities if you're coming from the game space. This will trickle through the game space over the next 6 to 12 months. And to a certain extent, we already see that manifesting in games like X Infinity and so on. So the very early signs can be seen there. And yeah, we're very excited about that because it finally means that these different verticals, these different industries that are being built on the blockchain are finally coming together, and that's super exciting because it brings synergies and it shows the true potential of all the different verticals.
Great. Joe, John, Michael, do you want to add anything to that on your side? What's your perspective for the second half of the year?
I can follow up on this. So I agree with what Patrick was saying. I think, the yield farming activities we're currently seeing, although I would like to categorize that as just merely, smart players in the industry are looking to neutralize inefficiencies, right? That's all they're doing. And we can see that. I don't know how applicable it is for, I think, NFT market, unless that there's also kind of speculation component to it, which we're seeing from your presentation before. I think I'm betting hugely on this new generation blockchain-based games who are taking a complete different approach, that they're looking to onboard users on initially a centralized ramp, and then slowly converting them into a decentralized player that interacting with blockchain NFTs without knowing it. For instance, naming a few, I think the people that were building the Neon District, or I think the latest game that being launched, Sky Weaver, they're more or less adopting a different approach. So I'm really excited to kind of see how that plays out and see if they can break the barrier. Crypto games are not just a game with a couple thousand DAU anymore. We're looking like hundreds of thousands And then you have the word of mouth, and people are making money off these games, selling these NFTs through each other. So that would be my comment.
Exciting.
So I would add, I mean, obviously the DeFi has been fantastic this year. I would just want to call out the ETH2 milestones that they've been making. Just this morning, just a few hours ago, launched the final test net for ETH2, and haven't checked in a few hours, but it was initially very successful. This is the first cross client at the kind of the foundational layer of all of the stuff that we're building. It's exciting to me to see the progress that's been made, and the fact that, you know, we've built on this network Ethereum 1, and it's been extremely successful. And the future looks bright for Ethereum 2, and for this continue to grow and attract more users, and the capability for the network to support them.
Yep, totally. And that's new. Like it's interesting to see like how this it all led to that momentum, and now of course there's a lot of hype around DeFi, etc. But would you say like this new breed of game that are building and integrating those dynamics, those token modeling aspect will also be? Is it something that's going to last, and is it something maybe we'll have some window of time before we see go live to market, or it's happening right now already, and we can be because some of the game you mentioned are already members of the BGA, of course, and I've been presenting last week actually this event with Neon District and token and economics experts. But yeah, I'm interested to see like what the future holds for gaming. Hello? Yeah, okay. So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I was not sure.
It went a bit Dalek-y. I mean, I think a couple of things I'd like to kind of pull out as well. I think with the gaming space, we've seen a lot of blockchain games launch on a lot of different blockchains, and they've had varying degrees of success. But clearly, we've had it seemed to be this kind of ceiling of about 10,000 daily active unique wallets in terms of, I mean, very broadly speaking, which seemed to be the limit, not just on Ethereum, but we've seen on kind of EOS and Tron and even Steam and Hive, similar things. So I think on one level, there's a big opportunity for new blockchains launching. So we know kind of ETH2 is kind of a new blockchain. Quite when it will be on a level that people can deploy a game type experience and gain all the benefits, we're not sure. Obviously, we have things like Dapper with their flow coming out. We have things like Cardano just done its mainnet. There's like probably a dozen other new blockchains that say they're going to be the next fastest, best thing for consumer dApps. I mean, we don't know; they're not launched yet, but there's definitely a big opportunity around that. I think that will be maybe not for 2020, but maybe kind of 2021. And I think the other thing that probably is the better way of thinking about it is we have blockchain games, but and we can kind of do blockchain, but we can't really attract a lot of people with blockchain. So there's other people who are kind of, and I guess to a degree, Sebastien with Sandbox, you're something similar to this, and they're more about games. So I think from my point of view, there's been some high-profile games that for various reasons have taken longer in their development than they probably would have wanted. So we have things like kind of Neon District and Sandbox and Skyweaver and things like that. But also, I guess the big one for me still is kind of Blanco's Block Party, which is coming on their own version of kind of EOS and doesn't mention blockchain at all. And I think when we see more of those sort of games coming out, they're just like, here's a really cool game. And it just happens you can own these things and you can sell them and trade them. And we don't mention blockchain at all. And I think when I'm not saying either of those two is better than the other, but I think between those two approaches of having different blockchains that just allow different types of applications and games that are a bit more focused on the game side rather than the kind of sometimes we can get lost, I think, in the complexity and the excitement of these crazy kind of computer systems. I think between those two, that would be where I think we need to see a kind of a tipping point to get from where we are at the moment to people talking about millions of players. And clearly, if we think blockchain is going to have an impact on games, blockchain need to be integrated into games that have millions of players, not games that have thousands of players. That we're never going to get anywhere at that scale. So that's really what I'm looking for.
Cool. Thank you, John, for that comment. I think we can take it as like the closing word for today's event. And it's been really a pleasure to have all those new members presenting today. I wanted also to thank you first, all speakers, and thank you for all people who watch us through all the different channels of the Blockchain Game Alliance. If you have any further question, let us know. You can write us by here are our contact details. You can join us. You can follow us on Twitter. You can read us on Medium. You can join our Telegram and Discord, or just shoot us an email. We'll be happy to connect you with any of the members you saw today, answer any specific question, and continue the conversation, and all together helping to bring blockchain technology into the gaming space. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you for staying again. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.